Welcome. It's a lovely Sunday evening. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. Coming up in the next 90 minutes, we'll play back some action for you from the Ghana Premier League, where Kumasi and Kotoko are cruising at the top of the table. Hearts of Oak playing catch-up at the moment. At the Africa Cup of Nations, the final four are set. Surprises here and there. Tunisia, Morocco, all sent packing. While surprise packages, Gambia and Equatorial Guinea's fairy tale journeys have also come to an end. We'll play back the action for you here on the show. There's not much going on in Europe in terms of league football because the Premier League, the Bundesliga, La Liga, Italian Serie A, all of them on some sort of winter break. But we've got some more World Cup qualifying matchups to play for you from South America, where Uruguay risk missing out on the World Cup, and to North America, where Canada are chasing a first qualification since 1986. And of course, to Asia as well. Plus, the Aussie Open, the race to Grand Slam number 21 is finally ended. Rafael Nadal winning his 21st in an epic battle with Medvedev. We'll try and play back that action for you as well. Ashley Barty also got her third Grand Slam title. So there's plenty. Plus, some Don't Call Me action if we have the time. Van der Beek is going to Everton. Luis Diaz has joined Liverpool. There's plenty to talk about on the show, so certainly no lack of content here. My name is Fentio, Tahiru Fentio. We'll take a very short break. When we return, I introduce my two musketeers and we can start to show you some highlights. Welcome back to the show. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. The show is live and interactive on social media, so you can join us. Use the hashtag Scorecard on Twitter. I read your messages. I'll see all of them. I'll retweet and share them with the rest of our viewers from across the globe. You can also send me a WhatsApp message. Use the number on the screen. +233 550 5832. Our friends from the Gambia, from Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone, all of you, congratulations. What a journey you've had at the Africa Cup of Nations. We're all very proud of you. But every journey, of course, has a beginning and an end. Yours has come to an end, but in such a prideful manner. Tonight on the show, of course, I've got my two usual guests, Coach Christopher Nimley and Daniel Cranton. Last week, Coach didn't come with a watch. Today, he's come with a watch, but it doesn't seem to be working.
No. What? Look at this man.
I'm introducing you. You are just spinning the hand.
Do you know what I'm looking at?
What are you looking at? What time
is it? It's none of your business.
It's a clock. There are two hands there, the hour hand and then the minute hand.
So you are teaching a science student a clock.
Are you a physics teacher? You are a chemistry teacher. Two different things.
That is why you don't know that anybody who did science did physics, did elective mathematics.
Yes, and you did physics for...
I did physics.
You did physics for 3... but you are a chemistry...
At what? You see, don't go into areas you don't know. That is the problem with you. You always want to create a problem with yourself. Oh, Charlie, Padine. You want to go into areas that you will find.
Even the chemistry, there are specializations. Maybe you are an organic chemistry teacher, or see, because you are a master's degree holder, which means you specialize. So don't bring yourself. You have specialized in the field. So what is your specialty?
Forgive me.
I want to save you. Let's go. Forgive me. If I start talking right now, there will be problem.
Forgive me.
Daniel, how are you?
I'm very good.
I don't think you're very happy. It's not been a good weekend for you.
Really?
Your Gambia got kicked out. Your Equatorial Guinea got kicked out. Medvedev got kicked out. So it's almost like nobody supports.
When did I become
this afternoon?
Medvedev?
He was just
Nimo.
Look, I was in church in the morning.
Nimo. But he's here pretending.
After the gospel had been preached, done my first offertory. I said, come on, but now this game will be going. When I open my tweet,
dedicate.
Oh, Charlie, Nada, don't do this, please. This guy will kill me on this show today. So, because of him, just after church, straight go where I went, I told my sister that, look,
put it on.
Quick. No, quick, I need to watch that. I need to watch that game.
My friend, you are shocking me. You see,
Unbelievable.
I am not a Medvedev fan.
Okay, we all know.
I'm a fan of tennis.
We all know you're not a Medvedev fan. You don't have to tell us. Exactly. We know where your affiliations are.
But you want somebody else to get to 21 before somebody else.
It's not about who. It is who will finish with the highest. I don't care.
But today he was supporting Medvedev.
Yes.
And he says he doesn't care.
I have a right to support who I want to support.
And
but
now,
I'll be sitting here crying.
At first, you don't care who you support. No, so at first, you didn't care who you support.
Relax. I'm a Black Stars fan. If Black Stars loses and you come and you tell me Black Stars, it will still hurt me. If Gambia loses, you don't expect me to be crying by now.
Yes, they are my team.
But my emotions are not attached to them. I wanted Medvedev to win.
Did I say cry?
It doesn't mean my emotions are attached to him.
I didn't say cried. I didn't say you cried. The fact that you've not
the three of them will retire and we'll see who has more Grand Slam titles. That's all I have to tell you.
At least for the next 3 years, somebody will not go to Australia.
Guaranteed. Banned.
So I'm hoping that those two in the US will say
there's one in France too that he may not get.
Take the vaccine. No vaccine. Go home.
Right now, that's where you
take the vaccine.
Right now, that's
take the vaccine and come.
Because you know if he plays, you have no chance.
No, that's not it.
That's it.
Safety of everybody. Yes.
You know.
It's a public health issue.
Look, you know that once he plays, you have no chance.
I can bet my last peswa that even if he plays, we'll get to 22 before he gets to 22.
Okay.
Because the next Grand Slam we are going to 22.
But we beat you in the last year.
Do you want me to count the number of times I've beaten you?
No, but in recent times, your shocks are loose.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll get to the tennis later. But now let's do some Ghana Premier League as we like to do as always. Let's begin in Kumasi, where Kotoko took on Accra Great Olympics, and it was their Cameroonian striker, Frank Etuga Mbella, who scored a brace to completely dismiss Great Olympics. 2-0 victory they recorded in Kumasi. Take a look. All right, so Kotoko getting what looked like a very routine victory, really. And that Cameroonian striker, Frank Etuga, has now scored 8 goals in the Ghana Premier League. His strike partner, Ongba Mfege, has scored 5 or 4 goals, I think. So the two of them really are having such a season to remember. Incredible start for them, and they've shot Kotoko to the top of the Premier League table. Let's take another highlight, this time from Doma, where Aegean Stars hosted Bichim United. It was a BA derby, and somehow Bichim United nicked it by 1-0. All right, so Aegean Stars defeated in Doma. Such a rare occurrence, but it happened, and it came at the hands of Bichim United. Let's bring you one more match in the Ghana Premier League, this time between Hearts of Oak and King Faisal. Hearts of Oak reportedly have signed Suleiman Tari. He was at the stadium to watch them. They took on King Faisal and they beat them by 1-0. King Faisal now struggling, if not won a game in their last 5 matches. So take a look. All right, so just a 1 goal from Obin Jr., giving Hearts of Oak that 1-0 victory. Let's show you the full results from the Ghana Premier League Week 15 now. So there you go. Kotoko's 2-0 win against Great Olympics confirmed. Aegean Stars losing to Bichim. Brecum Chelsea got a 3-1 win against Lions. Lions just... I'm not sure why they even bothered to come to the Ghana Premier League. They look on their way back already. Legon City's got a famous 3-0 win against 11 Wonders. Mediama also securing a win. RTU and Karela ended 1-0. Wafa beat BBN Gold Stars. And then... Of course, Ashanti Gold also beating Dreams FC 2-1. Ashko have turned it around after Christopher Nimley lambasted them here a few weeks ago. Let me show you the table now. There you go. After 15 match days, of course, Kotoko have played 1 game less, same as Hearts of Oak. But the rest of the teams, 15 matches each. This is the standing. Kotoko have 33 points. That's 7 points more than second place, Bichim United. Mediama as well. Aegean Stars 24 points, a further 9 points behind, of course, and Hearts of Oak are a mighty 10 points behind Kumasi Asante Kotoko. The bottom place teams, you see them there. The bottom 3, Amina Sharks 8 points this season, less points than games played. 11 Wonders 15 points. Accra Lions 16. BBN Gold Stars just above them as well. So things not looking good for some things as far as the Premier League is concerned. All right, so that's the wrap, Chris. I don't know where you want to bite first,
Yeah,
but it gives you very good perspective on where the league stands halfway into the season. Well, 2 matches to the halfway point.
Yeah.
But already it looks like the boys are separating themselves from
Exactly.
the men.
I'll start from the Kotoko game. And I watched the game. To be honest with you, the penalty was a very silly penalty to give away on the part of Accra Great Olympics. And that second goal again scored by Kotoko, in my view, could have been avoided. So I was asking myself, what actually was the problem? Until I listened to Anna Walker. And then I listened to him and I was like, wow, how could you do that?
What stood out for you?
Now, what he said in his interview was that every player that has been registered by Great Olympics is a player of Great Olympics. Now, he decided to make 3 changes, believing that he needed 3 of the players to go in there and prove themselves to him. You don't ask players to go and prove themselves because
against Kotoko.
Against Kotoko. You don't do that.
Put your best foot forward.
Even if you want to do that, not as starters. These are 3 players, and they've not been part of your game plan. They've not been an integral member or members of your team. Now, if you are going away to the league leaders, you show them some respect.
That's true.
As a manager, you yourself should realize that, look, this is not a sort of game that you want players to go and prove themselves to you. Players who haven't been playing throughout the season. You make 3 major changes to your setup.
Yeah.
And you can clearly feel from the way he was talking, it's like it wasn't his decision to make. The big men in the team are pushing him to say, but let the other players to play. So very smart on his part to prove to those big men that these boys are not ready. You go and throw them in such a game. You don't do that if you are a manager.
Yeah.
Look, that was what I got from his interview. And then the Hearts of Oak game. Look, like we did say, or like we've said all along, they've gotten to the stage where defending this particular league title, I believe sincerely that it is beyond them. It is Kotoko to lose. Between Kotoko and Hearts of Oak, like you rightly said, the gap is 10 points.
Yep.
There's an outstanding game between the 2 teams.
Yep.
Assuming Kotoko wins, that makes it what?
13 points.
So
That's almost unassailable.
Of course, Hearts of Oak will have to beat Kotoko. Even if they were to beat Kotoko, Kotoko still have a comfortable 7
points. Is still big.
It's still a huge margin.
Yeah.
That is 3 games. You are asking Kotoko to lose 3 games before you can what? Go and overtake them.
Yeah.
So I think they will have to keep doing what they are doing, keep playing well, keep winning football games, and hope at this level. If you are to hope that thing will go your way, then surely it means your destiny is not in your own hands. And if your destiny is not in your own hands, you can only hope that at the end of the day you get something out of it. We hear they've signed Suleiman Tari. Do I agree with that? I don't think so. I don't think it. Maybe for the sake of our football, Ghana football, maybe you want a very faithful son of the land, somebody who has completely served this country when he was on his A game, to come back before hanging his boot completely to experience our league. If that is the reason why he's been brought on, surely I support that.
Okay.
But if I'm the manager, I ain't sign such a player.
Interesting. Daniel, after a wonderful start, King Faisal have now lost each of their last 4 matches. In fact, they have the worst form
at the moment.
Yes, it's unbelievable.
5 in a row.
I don't know, 4 in a row now.
Look, it's sad, but I listened to their head coach's post-match interview, and he made some very interesting points. He said he is working with a very small group of players who he believes are up to their level. The rest of the guys, he says, they themselves know that they are not of the standard of the Premier League. Fatigue has set in, and he has to hope, and he's in a hurry for the first half of the season to be over so they can get some rest and make some transfers just to beef up the team. Look, it's not his fault. With a club like King Faisal, very small budget, you can't get superstars and have the depth and quality like the rest of.
What's going to be worse for them at the end of the first round is Kotoko recall Osman Ibrahim.
That's That's
shouldn't.
another.
Why
They
should
will.
They
No,
will.
shouldn't.
They are. No, they will.
They
Why
will.
should they?
It actually
They
looks
shouldn't.
like, because if
They
we heard
shouldn't.
No, everything
stories
points
in
to
that
it.
regard.
That's a discussion I've had.
Look, but
shouldn't.
it's
Because they already have 2 Cameroonian strikers, eh?
you know.
They shouldn't.
But it's sad from a King Faisal point of view. But look, it is what it is. What I'm happy about is that they were able to build themselves a good lead
Yes.
at the start of the season. So even though they are falling behind, they are not as close to the relegation zone as if they had started in this with this poor form. But from a Hearts of Oak point of view, yes, they got the win. It was very important. Coach has said it. Look, as it stands, all you can do is win football games and hope that Kotoko drop points. And people say we are still in the first half of the season. But when you look at this Kotoko team, you look at the cohesion they are showing, you look at the tactical discipline they are showing, you really don't see where they are going to drop points. And a team that consistently keeps winning grows in confidence. And it's always going to be very difficult to beat a team like that. For Kotoko, Coach has said it, and it's fact. It's their league title to lose. For the Suleiman Tari deal, look, I think if you bring a 37-year-old into your club, you're not necessarily bringing him on because of footballing reasons on the pitch. You are talking about the motivation he can give, the sort of drive he can give to the group of players. And we saw the inexperience. We are seeing the inexperience in this Hearts of Oak team. Some people sort of mistaking this Hearts of Oak team as the same team as last season. There are some key changes that have happened, some key major players who have left. So there's a lot of inexperience in this team. And I feel, if you listen to Samovido after the game, he said it. They need that sort of presence in the dressing room. Somebody who's been there, done that, just to give them the assurance. Because as it stands, look, a lot of the young players, you will not blame them if they've given up on the title as it stands. You need that player, that calm head in the dressing room, just to let them know that it's still possible. Just win. You never know what will happen.
You know,
just keep on winning.
Forgive my cynical self, but it's like he's 37. He's played at the highest level. He's won a Champions League.
Exactly.
He might as well just call it quit. Why is he coming to Hearts of Oak?
That's what I said. That look, if it's about
No, I mean, not even talking about like the manager or Hearts of Oak point of view. No. From a personal point of view.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe as a player, some of them during their heydays, they always said, I think.
Because surely this is not about money.
No. I heard that
Samajan said
that he would definitely play in our league before he said goodbye. I think I've heard Sule make that same statement.
Yeah.
This Hearts of Oak team, business of Sule coming has been.
It's been on and off for a while.
That's it.
He's trained with them previously.
2-3 seasons ago, as if it was going to happen. Eventually, it's happened. That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm sure as a player, he just want to have a feel of our league and the way it's all about, so that he will say, look, as a player, at least I played in the Ghana Premier League before I had my boot.
Interesting. All right. Anyway, guys, let's do this. Let's shift our attention to the Afcon. Show you the first game, and this is a very important match. Cameroon, the host nation, they took on the Gambia. The Gambia, everybody's surprise packages, everyone's second favorite team, not least Daniel Cranton's second favorite team in this competition. The match was played in the Japoma Stadium, not the Olympic Stadium, because of the disaster there. 40,000 or so screaming fans packed in there, and Toko Ekambi gave them a night to remember. All right, interesting. There you go. A wonderful victory for Cameroon. They are into the semi-finals, of course, and the home nation, everybody completely joyous as far as this game was concerned. It was a game they thoroughly deserved to win. What we will do is take a very short break, of course, and then when we come back, we'll delve into the details of that particular game, and we'll show you some of the other highlights from the other quarterfinal clashes. This is Scorecard, and I've got your messages, of course, here on the show. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. So we showed you highlights of the Cameroon versus Gambia game, the game that the Cameroonians won, of course, by 2-0. Nimli, let me just take your quick thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Thoroughly deserved?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, they I don't know which word to use. Is it manhandle? I think that was what it was all about. Because I watched this game from start to finish. Mm-hmm. Gambia started the game very well in the first 5-10 minutes, and then the Cameroonians took over. And you could clearly see the difference in class.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was a tactical know-how on the part of the Cameroonian coach that actually did the trick. If you go back to that game, in the very first half, it looked like Abubakar was the one who was always at the end of every move that Cameroon did. Okay. Don't forget, he had 3 chances.
Yeah.
And the goalkeeper saved 2. And then he messed up the third one. So in that second half, Cameroon actually needed a variation. And I think that was what caught the 2 centre-back of the Gambians off guard. They were used to having Abubakar in front of them and then being at the end of the move. But in that second half, his strike partner was given the instruction to, because if you look at the way they were playing, he was more or less coming from the left flank into the box. In that first half, he was always late. So Abubakar happens to be the only target man in the box for Cameroon.
Okay.
But in the second half, you could clearly see the coach giving him the clear instruction and look, you need to join him in the box so that, yes, he's our leading marksman. He's scored the most goals in the tournament so far. But there are times in games like this, if the chances keep falling to the same person and he keeps missing them, as a coach, you hope that another person will go and experience the same situation. Yeah. Maybe that person will be lucky enough. And at the very first time of asking, the ball was in the back of the net.
Wow.
At the second time of action, they were in the comfortable lead. And after the second goal, this is the proper comfortable lead.
It is.
It is. After the second goal, you can clearly see them just oozing and oozing and oozing.
I saw the video of
Onana
was on holiday, yeah,
all day.
Dana, we always talk. We've been full of great praise for Gabon for the way they played throughout this competition. Gambia, for the way they've played throughout this particular competition. Always came with a plan. They're never the most threatening team attacking wise. They come, they know their strength is set back. And yesterday was almost like 10-0-0 throughout the game, and it worked in the first half. They didn't concede. And throughout this competition, they've not conceded in the first half before. It's incredible how well they have played. But they were always going to find it difficult to score, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I don't... For me, my problem is not even the fact that they didn't score. Even in the first half, if you watched Gambia and you looked at their shape in the game, it was a 4-4-2. And the first and second four were so close to each other. They hardly allowed Cameroon spaces in there. In terms of as when the Cameroonians had the ball on the ground and wanted to progress it through the lines, they were not able to. But any time the ball went out wide and Cameroon was swinging in crosses, they were fashioning out chances. And my problem is, if you are going to defend that deep and that compact, the manner of chances they were conceding in the first half, they were major red flags for me. You could tell that it was just a matter of time before Cameroon would score. So then, my mind went back to Tom Saint-Fins, his pre-match press conference, where he admitted that the first 20 minutes was going to be the most difficult. He knew that Cameroon would come at them. If they were able to survive the first 20 minutes or go into the break at halftime, they will employ a more offensive style and try and get a goal in the second half. So I was a bit afraid when the second half was about to start, because I was telling myself, are you now going to try and open up and match the Cameroonians, maybe try and nick a goal, or you are going to keep defending? For me, I was for just defend and defend better, especially in the crosses, because
in the first 15 minutes
of the second half, very important. Still keep it compact, because the Cameroonians are going to give everything at it, because you know that once it reaches about 60-65 minutes and the game is still goalless, they will be in trouble. So then you defend.
Because then it will be stretched.
Then to be stretched, exactly. So I felt they should have been a bit more compact. But you look at the goals they conceded, especially the first one. And you see, that was not the first scenario where Kotoko Ekambi was on the box. It was in the box for a cross. That was just the first time he was at the end of it. So in the first 3-4 minutes, just before the Kotoko Ekambi goal, you could tell that Cameroon were now crowding the box with bodies. So then I felt they should have done something about their defending. Either start stopping the crosses, because first of all, in the first half, it was quite evident that you were struggling to defend crosses. So then now you have to stop the cross. Double up on the wide men. Colin Fire and Ngalemu, who was down the right-hand side. Stop them from crossing the ball, rather than allowing the crosses to come in. Because, of course, in terms of the height advantage. The Cameroonians were clear favourites for that.
They were too used to looking at Abubakar. When they were all looking at Abubakar,
constantly fixated on him. And you see, that's another problem, because in as much as coach has said he's a leading scorer, but Kotoko Ekambi is a top striker. You cannot look. In fact, in terms of pedigree right now, Kotoko Ekambi is
Abubakar is having a very good tournament.
He's more dangerous than he. So you cannot take your eye off him. So unfortunately, look, I think it was just down to inexperience. It's been a good ride for them, They've impressed everybody who has watched them through this competition. But look, personally, I think this was Cameroon's best performance. Yeah. This was their best performance because it wasn't like it wasn't going to be.
They had to finance. They had to Krakow being a very defensive. They had to force. And they found openings that were superb. Yeah. Incredible. All right, let's move it on and bring you Burkina Faso versus Tunisia. This match, well, the Tunisians shocked Nigeria, so there was a lot of expectations on them. Burkina Faso, on the other hand, they had other ideas, also winning by 1-0. All right, what a performance from the Burkinabes. There may not be stability in their country at the moment, but there's so much stability in the team. Absolutely incredible. Last 4 plays for the Burkinabes. Daniel, I'll start with you on this one. Was that a result that surprised you maybe? Or you thoroughly thought that they deserved to win?
Forget about the result. This is the best game of the competition so far. Best game. And you see, this is a sort of game where both teams knew that it was anybody's game. So then everybody had to give it their all. End-to-end action. And it was, honestly, for me, it was fine details. You look at that Wabi Kazri chance. If there was anybody on the pitch that the Tunisians wanted that chance to fall to, it would be Wabi Kazri. And some way, somehow, he mistimed it and missed it. That was a goal. He had to score that one. Yeah. That was a clear opportunity. So it was basically down to fine margins. You look at the Burkina Faso goal, and that's where you have to give Ouattara credit. The move, first of all, you give the referee credit for allowing the move to continue. Then Ouattara credit. That first start took him straight across the Tunisian defender. He knew that once he touched him, it would have been a penalty. He allowed him to continue. The composure to cut back onto his left foot, calm down, and then take a shot and finish. It was brilliant. This was a top quality game, and this is one of those games where if Tunisia won, you say they deserved it. If Burkina Faso won, you say they deserved it. Both teams gave it their all, and it was a true spectacle for African football. It was an excellent display of attacking football. Everybody wanted it. It's not like somebody sat back and defended the whole time. It was end-to-end action. And it's a sort of match that I can watch over and over.
The quality of even the chances. Look at this free kick. I mean, that is dipping into this.
It was a superb game.
So if any goal should win a game, this is as good as it gets. Look at that. Daniel talks about allowing play to continue.
This is the touch.
One touch.
That first
straight
touch
across
was the touch that made the
And
goal.
this wasn't the perfect flick, but it kind of fell to him.
It fell to his left
perfectly.
Foot. Look, I had a problem with the approach of the two teams, to be honest with you. From the neutral point of view, you say you will enjoy
it was enjoyable.
But from the tactical point of view, you don't approach a knockout game like this.
It was too open.
It was too open, too stretched. And I looked at the coach of Tunisia and I said, look, this was the same coach who was very, very cautious against the Nigerians in the immediate past knockout game that his team was involved in. Was there the case where he underrated the Burkinabe team and felt that, so these people, we can take them on boot for boot? And to me, that was where the problem is. Because if you look at the way they play against the Nigerians, they clearly had a game plan. A game plan that they all stuck to, and it worked perfectly for them. In this game, I didn't see one. All I saw was,
But is it not a case of different opposition? Because Nigeria, they knew they were attacking. Nigeria had come into that game, the highest scorers in the competition behind Cameroon.
But
so they had to stifle them. The Burkinabes haven't exactly played attacking football.
The Burkinabe, in fact, if you've watched them, they've looked very, very good.
No, they have been good. I've said they haven't played excessively attacking football.
Technically, if you look at Traore, all the guys up front there, they are very good players.
Of course.
They are players who always fancy themselves against 1v1, even 1v2.
But coach, he's saying, look, it was a different approach from Nigeria. Nigeria they were the best team in the competition.
The names, you see,
it's not the names,
not necessarily the names,
played.
In terms of performance.
So coach, so the point I'm trying to make is that perhaps the opposition and the profile of the opposition
define the profile.
Maybe the profile. And the profile in terms of the style of football, because Nigeria played some excessively attacking brand of football coming into that game against Tunisia. But the Burkinabes haven't played ultra-attacking football coming into this match.
If you've watched the Burkinabe played, from midfield to attack, I think they've been one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament.
But
their major problem is their lack of clinicality in front of goal.
They were the team that gave away 3 penalties in the
That's
group
what
stages. So I'm saying that they have been very clumsy.
Even if you look at their last game, look at the chances they created against Gabon.
Gabon were down to 10 men.
No, but before that, they had missed the penalty, they had scored, they had created so many chances to kill the game off, which they didn't take. So it was just
And considered against 10 men.
That's not because in the final minutes of the game.
I know. So they have not been that good.
No, when I say don't look at it as they have not been good holistic. I'm saying going forward, I don't think. Look, if you were to go back to statistics, they are one of the teams that have created the most chances in the tournament.
So you're saying that Tunisia's
But what I'm
game
saying,
plan against
Defensively,
them.
too, they've been poor.
Yeah, they've been poor. So that is why they tend to put you under pressure so that you don't expose them at the back. So look, my biggest problem with the Tunisian coach was the fact that
We're too open.
the game was too open.
Okay. I mean, that's
you don't approach a knockout game
Like
this.
that.
No. If
Abi.
it is a group game and you have another opportunity to go and make amends if it doesn't work, that's different.
Maybe you should have been more patient.
You should have been more patient with
Yeah.
it. Wait, it will come. Be patient, it will come. Because we all knew that going to the game, they were booming in confidence because they had beaten everybody's favorite to go and win the tournament.
Yeah.
Did
And
I
to
get
be
to
honest, to be honest, you see, the only reason I am not overly criticizing their coaches is that if you look at, apart from the game against Nigeria, this has been how Tunisia have played throughout the competition.
Yes, that's
Against
what I'm
Mali, even the one when the second group game, Mauritania. So
And
you know,
every
so
time they
it's,
play like this,
the other one they play like that, they won 4-0.
no, but who was the opposition at the time? Mauritania. But this is the team that qualified with only 3
3
points.
points. That's
And
true.
they beat the
team that
weakest
qualified
team in
with,
the group.
yeah.
Lost to
And then they
Ghana.
went to be the best team from the group stages.
That's it. By
With a
playing
plan. Okay.
in a certain way.
That's fair. Let me bring you another game, and this was a cracker. Daniel said Burkina Faso versus Tunisia was the game of the tournament, but perhaps this one made all the headlines.
Yes.
It had everything.
Yes.
Egypt against Morocco. The Egyptian won in extra time by 2-1. Mohamed Salah decided to step up with a goal and an assist, but it was the fights and all of the shenanigans that made this such an enjoyable game. Take a look. All right. CAF edited the highlights, of course, so they cut out the fights. If we edited the highlights, we would have left the fights inside. Because I enjoyed the fight.
Look, to be honest with you, apart from the fight, in my view, this has been
I
the
agree.
best game.
I agree.
Look, yes, I
think the
enjoyed
emotions of the
I
game.
enjoyed the Tunisia Burkina Faso game, but I was so much in love with what I saw today. This is a proper showpiece for Africa.
Showcase.
Look, on the part of the Moroccan team, every good player that you know for Morocco is in that team.
El Nesri, Roman Saiz, Ashraf Hakimi, El Haddadi.
Apart from Hakim Ziyech, who we all know has a problem with this coach.
He's not serious.
That's why he's not there. If you go to the Egyptian team, every good Egyptian player was in this team.
Hegazi, Salah,
That's the Salah,
Saïd, Mustafa Mohamed,
Trezeguet.
Sobi, Ramadan.
They were all very ready.
Yeah.
And they understood the derby.
Yeah.
They understood it. They
El
knew
Neni.
what they had to do to win. And for me, there's only one point I want to make here.
All right.
And that is to all those footballers out there who are learning the trade of defending. Please stay on your feet. Because that first goal that Egypt conceded could have cost them the game.
You mean the penalty?
The penalty, I mean.
Yeah, it was a careless tackle.
Very careless. All he needed to do was to match, and in fact, he was in front of Hakimi.
Yeah. He didn't have to make
He
that tackle.
didn't have to make the tackle. All he needed to do was to match. This is it.
Just
So
guide
you're in
him.
front of the man.
Just
Why
guide
do
him.
you dive into the tackle? You don't do that. at
Yeah,
this
it was
level.
quite careless.
Very, very careless. And for me, that is the only thing I want to point out there. After the entire game, tactically, I think the two coaches were okay. It came down to the players themselves. They had to make the difference. And look who it took to separate the team. From Salah to Trezeguet. Bang.
Look, friends, this is, look, games like this, they are what make me happy.
Exactly.
In a tournament where first game he was quiet, second game he scored the goal, he was relatively quiet. Third game he was quiet. Even the round of 16 game against Cote d'Ivoire, he was quiet.
Yeah.
Your team has gone down a goal in the quarterfinal. Look, this is what superstars do. That is why Egypt has Mohamed Salah. That is why he's there for times like this. A team that doesn't score, a team that struggles to create. Then they are down against a team that scores for fun, a team that wants you in that position. That
it reminded me of the baby jet against USA, against Algeria,
this is a superstar.
Against Angola.
He shows up when they needed him most.
And you see, it's the responsibility.
Yes.
It was just a complete switch. It was like, okay, fine, we are in trouble. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Just give it to me. And once he scored that first goal, look, the assist is something we see every week.
Yeah, and you can't stop it.
Every week. He does it to everybody. And you see, that's the thing. You know Salah will do this. Go and stop him and see. You try. It will be a different person next week, and it will be a different person next 2 weeks. You can't stop him.
The end result.
Frankly speaking, Mohamed Salah right now, I don't care who they've given the award to. And this is why I have changed. I want Egypt to win, because I feel if Egypt wins, the world will have no other excuse than to give him the Ballon d'Or. This guy is the best player in the world. Mohamed Salah is the best player in the world. Look at it. He can't do anything.
Look at he had about 3 players surrounding him.
And he's confused both Amrabat and Aguerd with that shimmy. Just like that. This is something that if Messi did, people will scream about it and scream about it and scream about it. Mohamed Salah is the best player.
And for him to be able to pick the pass with his unfavorable
foot. Trezeguet was wiping his boots.
No, you see, look, if you can watch the replay again, when he did the dummy, he automatically looked up just to see if Trezeguet was making. You see that split-second move, just to lift his head and see Trezeguet, and then quickly slip.
Yeah, he lifted his head and still didn't lose control of the ball.
Still didn't lose control of the ball. Now, this is my important point. You see, and if you followed me, I've always said, Salah is a good player, but he didn't really impress me like that. But this season, he's added a completely different. I think he's become a more complete footballer this season. Yeah. His passing, his assists, the vision is just totally elevated this season. He's not just scoring goals, but the level of the assists he's giving. If you look at this season, they have the game against Watford, and the assist he gave for Sadio Mane outside of the foot. And all this one like this, which you've seen like 3 or 4 or 5 times this season. Look, he's on a whole different level. He's added so much to his game within the last 3 months of last season into this season. Look, this guy is the best player in the world as it stands. I don't know who is better than him as it stands. He's the
best player on the continent at the moment.
No, that's fact. He's the best player in the world.
In the world. Thank you. This save, Grabowski.
I mean, this was the save that won them the game. Actually.
Yes,
because
at
the time I think we were about.
Here's the incidents again.
Salah control.
Salah,
and then look at it.
Like he's cutting it. Oh God!
That was where he watched, and then he saw Trezeguet coming. And between the two of them, they've created lots of goals for Egypt. Not only in this tournament, but if you track the two of them, the way they've actually combined in the Egyptian shirt, it's been wonderful to watch.
Incredible. So Egypt, when it comes to the Afcon, they're a totally different animal. Now they will take on Cameroon. Let me show you the fixture tree for the Afcon. The semi-final set, Cameroon also won against Equatorial Guinea. That match ended 3-1. Unfortunately, ended not too long ago, so we don't have the highlights for you. But the semi-final is set now on Wednesday. That's Burkina Faso against Senegal. There's a West African derby. That should be a cracker. And then on Thursday, that's when Cameroon, the host nation, take on Egypt in a repeat of the 2017 Afcon final.
That was supposed to be the final.
That should have been the final?
That should have been the final.
Yeah.
Egypt-Cameroon is an Afcon final.
Yeah, anyway. So that's the bottom line as far as that one is concerned. So big congratulations to all the 4 teams that made it to the semi-final. The rest of them, and like I said, I salute our big friends from Gambia for all of their gallant.
I think my surprise package is Equatorial Guinea.
They've done really well too. Let me read some messages here. This one says Egypt will win the Afcon. That's Emmanuel from Tema. Daniel Anand says, I wish Patricia Salasi Wezi a happy birthday. Okay, Patricia, happy birthday. And says Senegal all the way. Simple from Lome sent that message. All right, supporting Senegal all the way from Lome. There's a crowd that separate Lome and Senegal. I didn't get this message from you when the Black Stars needed it. but it's okay. In fact, if you are traveling from Lomé to Dakar, you go through Accra, Abidjan, before you get to Senegal. So, I mean, that's quite a journey. But yeah, good luck to Senegal.
The message is meant for those who are
still in the competition.
Those who have been embarrassed and disgraced.
Emmanuel from Lavale, she says, I'll be happy if Egypt limit Cameroon to play in the third place. In fact, Egypt will beat Cameroon. All right. Good evening, he says. Thank you. This one says, Cameroon have been poor hosts. They've used underhand tactics, especially where food and accommodation is concerned. Most teams, including GH, had to look for alternative accommodation. You can't put anything past them. Banana, the Nubian Fashion Digital Center and Tabora Alaji. That's a wild allegation from you, Banana. And none of us can really prove that Senegal.
The incompetence of the management committee.
Incompetence of Georgia.
It has nothing to do with Cameroon.
What are you talking about?
And he says, good evening, thank you. I'm African Mbappe from Medina. Please ask Nimli this question for me. The way he likes sack and ban people, no? Does it mean if his wife doesn't cook well for him, he will sack her?
This man.
Thank you. What kind of question is this?
What sort of question?
This really doesn't get it wrong when it comes to the kitchen. So that is no. There is no if and
life is about standard. When you set a standard, you don't drop it.
You don't drop it.
There are people, they have no standard. That's why they keep dropping it.
Boy in Tamale says, good evening, Fentu. I pity Greenwood. His career is just about coming to an end. Such a fine talent wasted. This was a good job, Fentu, and shout out to coach. Is it true that Salisu has agreed to play for Ghana? Charles from Medina? We don't know.
We can't authenticate
we don't know that. This one said, but Fentu, why do Ghanaians discourage our players from playing past their late 30s? Zlatan Ibrahimovic is still playing at the highest level in Serie A. So why can Montari continue playing? Charles in Medina.
You want me to comment on that?
Please, okay.
Do you want me to comment on that?
It's okay.
I shouldn't comment.
It's okay.
No comment.
King Selassie in Adenta Pantine says, Burkina Faso's players have proper strength and good stamina. All right. This one says, Coach Nimli overly criticizes too much. He wants to find fault in every situation.
Oh, is that what I've done here?
Coach,
I think you were talking about the Tunisia.
Coach, comment.
I think you were talking about the Tunisia one.
If you follow the Tunisia team play, the only time they played as a team, tactically, with a proper game plan, that was when they won.
Okay. One more message. Bala from Nasman says, Egypt's equalizer was all down to the positional naivety of Monet El Haddadi. I hated the sight of Egypt going through. Interesting. Anyway,
Zlatan is, how old is Zlatan?
39, 40 actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they say our players tend to
Montari is 37, so, he's younger than Zlatan, so he can still play for 3 years. We'll take another break here. When we come back, we'll take you around the globe, discuss some transfers, show you some highlights from South America, from North America, as well as some tennis. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. This is Scorecard on Citi TV. I'll try and take some messages from Twitter as well, and still read some from WhatsApp too, because I've got quite the number of messages. This one says, for me, I feel Morocco deserve to win. I feel he should have done what Pep does with Cancelo when Walker is in the team. He should have played Hakimi on the left to manhandle Mo Salah, Drew in Adenta. Alphonse from Upper Denture says, I think this coach must be giving a team to coach because he thinks whatever he says is right. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Nimili?
Tell him he should have his own
Alphonse.
opinion.
Alphonse.
Alphonse, you can have your own opinion.
I actually thought initially he was talking about the Morocco coach.
What's his name?
Sorry?
What's his name?
Alphonse.
Alphonse what?
Yes, Alphonse from
Upper
Denture. Yeah.
That's not even his name.
This,
I am called Christopher Nimley.
He's
Put your
called
correct Alphonse.
Stop that. I know a few Alphonses.
No. In Ghana, Alphonse.
Of course, but in Ghana, Chris. I say.
Alphonse.
Chris, yes, Alphonse.
I'm Christopher. The short form of Christopher is
Where's
Chris.
Christopher from?
The short form of Christopher
It's
is
Chris. But is Christopher a Ghanaian name?
What is the Alphonse?
It's Alphonse. You are Christopher is Alphonse.
Tell Tell Alphonse that he should stay in his profession and enjoy himself.
This one says, again, another coup d'etat will happen in Cameroon against Burkina Faso to play at third place. Oh, I see. Emmanuel from La Baoleshi, and he says, go Senegal. Let me take you to South America and show you some games there. In fact, before I go to South America, let's go to North America. That's where Canada are chasing a first qualification since 1986. Tonight, Sunday night, they're taking on the United States of America. But before that, on Friday, they faced Honduras and put an even stronger foot in place to qualify for Qatar 2022. They beat Honduras away by 2-0. All right, so Canada beat Honduras 2-0. And then that match that I said they were going to play against the USA has actually come to an end. They've beaten the Americans by 2-0. This is what the standings look like in North America as far as the World Cup qualifying is concerned. So you see, Canada, they have 19 points as far as this is concerned. The USA have 18 points. They've just played them. So now, Canada have
22.
Yes, 22 points. I'm sorry if you can't see part of it in the screen there. I'm not sure what's happened there. But Canada now on 22 points. The USA on 18. You see the blue? That's the 3 teams that will automatically qualify to the World Cup in North America. So Canada, USA, Mexico in pole position. Panama at the moment have 14 points. Costa Rica have 12. It's the 4th place team that will go into the playoffs. But as far as the automatic places are concerned, Canada, USA, Mexico look like they will automatically book their places at the World Cup. All right, so that's what it is as far as Canada is concerned. They call them sleeping giants quickly. Since 1986 in Mexico,
they've never been to the World Cup.
Meanwhile, they're hosting the World Cup in 2026.
Exactly.
They won the CONCACAF competition in 1985 and then represented the CONCACAF reaching at the World Cup in 86. Since then, but there's a new generation of players.
I've not been watching them, let me be honest. I've not been watching.
But you know some of their players.
But I was coming today and I was listening to BBC. That was where I got to know that they were actually playing the US today. And I was told that there was a 1 point gap between the two of them. And then I started, who are the players? The only player I tend to know is Alphonso Davies. You know, I like that boy because he's been disciplining people. So, and then listening to BBC, I was told that he's got issues with COVID and the related heart problem. So he will not even be in the team today. Yeah. And I said, whoa, that means they've been very, very, very depleted as a unit. But for me to be hearing that, they've just beaten the US 2-0 and stretched that 1 point lead to a 4 point lead now, it tells me the main business. But look at the quality of goals we just watched for them. The 2 goals scored were brilliant goals, especially the second one. Look at the pass. The pass was hit with some form of venom. And for the guy to have controlled the ball,
one touch
with his chest, and the ball just stuck in front of him, the next touch, it was in the back of the net. It clearly tells me that they are on the right path, they know what they are about, they are being coached well, and it is time for them to grace the world stage. Yeah.
For them, they beat the Americans by 2-0. I mean, America basically have, they and Mexico, they basically have, and
they have
recently Costa Rica.
They've
enjoyed some monopoly, but the Canadians are going to qualify at the expense of a very, either Panama
or Costa Rica.
Yeah. So I think it's top 3 automatic go through, and then the 4th place. Yeah. So it looks like the 4th place between Jamaica and
no, the 4th place at the moment is occupied by Panama
and
then Costa Rica is right behind.
So that's where the contention will be. But for the top 3, I think it's settled. And I'm really happy for Canada because they are hosting the World Cup. I think the next edition, part of their 3. Yeah. And it's very important for you to at least get to the tournament before that, have that experience leading up to the one where you're going to host. So at least you can give a good account for yourself. So this is a solid team. Looks like they've been together for quite a while. A group of young players, talented players, and they are committed to the cause. And I'm happy they are getting things done.
The South American qualifiers is another place where Uruguay are playing with fire, risking not qualifying. But the likes of Brazil, Argentina, quite comfortably through already. Ecuador took on Brazil. That match ended 1-1. Let's show you some highlights from there. And it was a cracking game of football that ended 1-0. As far as this game is concerned, Danny, I'm not sure. I don't know if you watched it, but here is the Ecuadorian goal. That's a good chance for them. That's not the goal, but here I think Brazil with Coutinho.
He's back.
Who has recently joined Aston Villa with some leadership role here for the Brazilians. And Brazil are quite comfortably through. They've already qualified actually. So at the moment they're just having fun. Took their lead, a scrappy goal, but they'll take it anyway.
And see, that's it. Look, they've qualified like 5 games before this, but they still aren't losing. And that's the thing. Their commitment to still remain unbeaten is...
This incident, you remember this incident? It was all over Twitter, namely, the proper Kung Fu football in South America.
Oh, good.
Is it Alisson? Oh.
No, it wasn't.
It was goalkeeper.
Oh, so he did before Alisson did his.
Oh, this was... Look at this. Madness.
Boy.
Boom. Oh, God.
Boy. Right in his neck.
Look at your friend. Look at the pass he picked. Fred put the player in danger.
Oh, actually.
Yeah. South American football. Straight red card, obviously.
And then he got there and put his arms and he said, oh, I didn't do anything. Are you serious?
Look at the ref. I'm not even sure he stood there for he just needed to see one angle. And the decision was...
Reminds me of Ederson on Money, you remember?
Yes. His first season.
Yeah. Stamped his neck and that was it.
You know.
Don't even talk to him.
And look at the... I'm even shocked. He's playing innocent.
Don't need to talk to him.
Anyway, so red card was given him. But somehow, Ecuador still found an equalizer. There it is. And then the match ended 1-1. Okay. The next game in the South American qualifiers, Chile, they took on Argentina, who have also already booked their place in Qatar 2022. That match ended 2-1 for the Argentines. There they are. First goal, wonder strike. And guess who?
Maria.
Signature. Di Maria. Namely, how many times have you seen this? Di Maria in for the far corner.
In the last round, he did it against Uruguay.
I have lost count of the number of times it's like watching Ian Robin coming to do the same thing over and over, and yet still he will do it.
Oh, it's a top class goal.
And this is the game they play without Leo Messi.
Yes.
And I think there's the man of the moment.
Yeah.
Lotario Martinez.
Yes.
He's a proper footballer.
Your favorite striker at the moment.
Look, he's a proper footballer. What?
Yes.
Like
he's that good.
All right.
He is that good.
So they won Argentina by 2-1. And then Uruguay, they took on Paraguay. They also won that game by 1-0, Uruguay. And here's the goal for you. Wonder strike, wonder finish. Fantastic finish there from the Uruguayans. And they got a very important 1-0 victory there. Can you imagine your good friend Muslera is still in goal? Look at the way he's celebrating. How old is he now?
I don't know why they don't want to refreshen the team.
Luis Suarez. No, there's no way he's missing that, is he?
What a striker.
There's something about seeing players in their national teams. It's different. It's unique, isn't it?
At least for once, they've changed their coach.
Yes, for the first time in 15 years.
There's no Oscar Tavares.
He couldn't even walk.
He couldn't walk. Yesterday, he said he would coach the team. Who are you to sack him?
All right. Okay, so that's it. So now let me show you the standings in South America. Let's make sense of what it looks like. Okay, there we go. Don't worry. Okay. All right, maybe if they take the clock down, we can show you what Brazil's points are. But you can see there actually, 36 points. Thank you. Argentina with 32. Both teams already qualify. You see they're indicated right next to them. And then Ecuador and Peru occupy the other 2 automatic slots in South America. Now, Uruguay, Colombia, Chile, 2 points. In fact, is it 2 points? 3 points. Separate them. In fact, not just them, up to 15. So 4 points separate 5th position from 8th. And all those teams there, the 4 teams there, Uruguay, Colombia, Chile, Bolivia, are chasing that one playoff place. Of course, Uruguay still have a chance to steal into the automatic places, but that one playoff place, that 5th position, if you finish 5th, you play the 5th place team from Asia.
Yeah.
So, which is why the South Africans always end up having 5 teams, because
they
every time they
beat those guys,
they meet the 5th place team
them good
in Asia, they beat them good. But this is what it looks like.
I'm afraid for Colombia and Chile.
Yeah, it's not looking good
It's
at
not
all.
looking good at all. At all. They've lost too much ground. And right now it looks like it's going to be either Uruguay, Chile, or Colombia who makes the playoff round. It's not like they are even going to get the automatic spot. And it's that competitive there. You have to give credit to Ecuador and how they've been able to push Brazil and Argentina. It looks like they are almost safe in that 3rd place spot. And you have to give them credit, because Chile, Colombia, and Uruguay are powerhouses in world football. And it looks like
Peru is the other one in that those automatic places.
And that's the truth, because look, if you look at previous World Cup qualifiers, Peru is usually at the bottom.
Yes.
So they've also done a superb job to be able to push the top teams at the top. So either Uruguay, Colombia, or
one of them,
Chile, two of them will not make the World Cup.
Interesting. Australia also playing with fire in Asia. I don't have highlights to show you, but it's not looking good. So in Asia, the qualifying is divided into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. The top 2 teams in each group will qualify automatically. And then the 3rd place teams in each group will play a final. And then that person will go and play the 5th place team in South America. It's a very interesting format. But none of it is as exciting as the African format. Trust me, when the top 10 teams are drawn against each other on a home and away basis, it is similar in intensity to the way the playoffs happen in Europe. When
it's a format I really don't like.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but look, I listened to the former AFA boss, Kwesi Nyantakyi, where he said that when he was at CAF, he spoke against that format. Right. And that was why CAF abandoned it after using it the first time when we beat Egypt. Because he got them to understand that, look, when it is that you and I, you versus me,
there's too much.
Normally, the team that tend to host the second leg tends to do everything possible to qualify. And he cited the Black Star situation with Egypt. He said, look, if we had not beaten the Egyptians 6-1,
they would have turned it up.
If it had been 3-1, 4-1, they would have turned it. They would have reversed the scoreline and then qualified. Because he cited the example where a day to the training, when the Black Stars left the hotel to go and train at the stadium, it took them less than 15 minutes to get to the stadium. But on the day of the match, it took them close to 1 hour, 30 minutes to get to the match. Ask yourself, did the road to the stadium completely change? So he cited so many examples. And for him, he said the only reason why CAF will bring back that format is because it gives them more money.
Of course it does. The games are all like tantalizing. It's like blockbuster
So the TV
matches.
rights people just come for him.
And also it eliminates, like in fact, the first format, the group stage format, included 3 previous rounds before the draw is actually held. But this one is only one prelim round and then the draw, and then make 10 groups. Everybody play, and then otherwise you would have had to come up with, I think, 4 times 5. So you would have come up with 20 teams at the end.
The top
would qualify.
It's a league format, home and away, home
exactly. Anyway, so that's the bottom line. You know the fixtures already as far as the African ones are concerned. If you need a reminder, it is Ghana against Nigeria. That's going to be in March of this year. All right, let's move it on. Let's do something small on transfers before we move into the Aussie Open. Let's start with Van der Beek. He's gone to Everton. I've got 2 United fans here that have got a lot to say, but something brief. Namely, you're a big fan of the boy. You've never understood why he's never been given a chance. Now at Everton, possibly under Frank Lampard, you think we could finally see why you've been clamoring for him to play?
Look, I was happy when I saw the confirmation that he's moved to Everton.
Yeah.
And I told myself that. And don't forget, it was Crystal Palace, Valencia. Everton came in at the last moment, the moment Lampard was confirmed as boss.
Yeah.
And I told myself that, look, if Everton can afford to pay the money, when I say pay the money, you don't put such a player on the bench. Look, what I never understood was the fact that this boy has never been given even 5 or 6, 8 games, round of games in the United shirt.
Consistent run of games.
Consistent. You don't spend 40 million pounds on a player and not give him at least 10 rounds in 2 years. He's not been given like 10 starts. That is not acceptable.
Yeah.
I really didn't want him to step out of the EPL, because Man United, although they are not using the ball, they are always of the view that maybe the next permanent manager will see this boy good enough. So they did say, no option to buy, take him on loan, give us our loan fee, pay his salary in full. When the next appointment is made, then the manager will decide, because he signed a 5 years extension option to extend by another year, and he spent only 2. So there's 4 more years. So he's a player who's under huge contract, £120,000 a week player. And for me, I'm happy he's going to Everton.
All right.
I will watch every game of Everton because of him.
Friends,
Yeah.
when he was signed, we broke the news on this show.
Yeah.
Remember what I said?
We were on the show
when
when
the
move was
when it
confirmed.
happened. I told you that on paper, the 2 positions he's more suited to play are occupied by the 2 best players in Man United.
That's
Pogba
true.
and
I
Bruno.
remember that.
He will not get to play. If United, what will happen is United will have to fashion out a system to accommodate him. And the player is too intelligent for the manager. So then he will probably sit on the bench. And we are in this situation.
Yeah.
We are in this same situation. And it's hurting me, because it was, yes, he's a very good player. But if you look at the needs of Manchester United, he was an unnecessary signing.
He was an unnecessary signing.
Okay.
Let's say so. But we ended up, when I say we, Man United ended up damaging Bruno Fernandes by getting him to play in every game. You don't do that.
Okay.
He ran out of steam. And there's an able replacement. That is why I'm saying that in Frank Lampard, this boy will be given a fair chance, and we'll see what he's capable of doing.
Interesting. Liverpool are trying to replace Sadio Mane, aren't they? They've signed a 25-year-old Colombian called Luis Diaz from FC Porto for 40 million or so. They said it was a bargain. They said the player was valued way more than the amount Liverpool are paying for him. Daniel, what do you think? What are Liverpool thinking here in signing him? I mean, don't their front three look like it's set already?
No, I don't think so. And if you, of course, viewers who have followed this program know that I was one during the summer transfer window. I said I wanted Liverpool, or I felt Liverpool needed another midfielder and then another forward, a winger who could drift inside and also get goals. So that was a need they needed to address. And I'm happy they finally got their man. Diaz is, and you see, he's that kind of player. He can play off both flanks. He can come from the right. He can come from the left. And this Liverpool front three needs competition. We've seen how much Jota's inclusion has helped the team. They were, in seasons past, they were over-reliant on Mane, Salah, Firmino. Firmino started going off form. Imagine if Jota wasn't around. They would have struggled. But Jota was able to slot in, do their job. Mane and Salah have gone to the Afcon. Jota in the games during their absence has done his job there. So, look, a top team always needs depth. And for Liverpool, with the front three that has a lot of mileage in their legs, have played game after game after game, you always need signings like this. People who are able replacements, who can always come off the bench and do a similar job, if not better than the guys on the pitch.
Interesting. Some other transfers worthy of mentioning. Adama Traore and his baby oil has gone back to Barcelona. He's gone there on loan with an option to sign on a permanent deal. Barcelona was where he started as an academy player. He left in 2011. He's returning after 12 years. That's 11 years, sorry. After 11 years, a long time. Anyway, let's move it on to the Aussie Open now. The women's draw, Ashley Barty, she beat American Danielle Collins in straight sets to win her 3rd Grand Slam, to add to the French Open and the Wimbledon that she won. But the biggest one, of course, this is what we want to talk about, Rafael Nadal versus Daniil Medvedev. Nadal was competing to win a 21st Grand Slam title. and he had to do it the hard way, coming from 2 sets down. Quite simply, one of the greatest comebacks of all time in a Grand Slam final. Certainly, the greatest comeback Nadal has been involved in. 21 Grand Slam titles now. Daniel, you were a bit frustrated.
First of all, congratulations to Rafa.
Okay, thank you very much on his behalf.
21 is a huge feat.
Of
course, the battle is not over. We'll see more from the other guy. That's Djokovic, of course, not Federer. His shocks are weak. Look, this game was down to mentality. It was down. Everybody who watched the game, look, Medvedev had chances to finish it off, and if he just had that killer instinct that Nadal has, that Djokovic has, that Federer used to have, he would have ended this game. He wouldn't even have gone to a fourth. It would have been done because he had opportunities upon opportunities upon opportunities. And one thing that he did, and it just shows that the pressure got to him. Anybody who has watched one match of Rafa Nadal knows that the strength is in the forehand. You do not go to that forehand, especially when you have him pinned down. No matter how much room it looks like
it is there,
you don't go.
It's an illusion.
Go there. Nobody does that. When Djokovic faces him, he doesn't do it. When Federer faces, he doesn't do it. And for Djokovic, who is the best returner in the game, he doesn't even go there. He doesn't dare Nadal on that. Every single open chance Medvedev got, he kept on going there. You could say it was instinct, it was pressure. He kept on panicking, kept on going there. You see, it doesn't matter if Nadal is falling down. Once it's on that leg, he will punish you. That ball will by all means land in court. And
so fundamental mistakes.
Fundamental mistakes. And of course, at this level, a great player like Nadal will by all means punish you. And it had to happen. These things have to happen for a player like Medvedev to learn. And I'm sure he will learn. The other thing is that we're reading commentary and people are saying next generation. The guy is 25.
Yes.
The guy is 20. This is supposed to be his time.
This should have been his
Nadal, Federer, and
when they were 25,
they are eating into
like
his time. So
if
they don't learn quick, he
and
Zverev and Co, if they don't learn quick, they'll just fizzle out.
For me, just one statement on the fact that
thank you, Nimli.
Nadal, for now,
is the greatest of all time.
is the GOAT.
I guess the GOAT debate in tennis will change for a long time, over time.
Like, for now,
every few months, one other person is the greatest of all time.
Somebody will not be somewhere.
Thank you, Nimli. Thank you, Kranting. Always a pleasure. Thank you to my producer as well, Bernard Essa, I'll say. Until next time, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Scorecard. My name is Fentio, Tahiru Fentio. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.